the goodbye message that shatters every avoidant. When you're preparing to walk away from an avoidant, every fiber of your being wants to make them understand. You want to explain the sleepless nights, the unanswered texts, the feeling of loving someone who keeps you at arm's length. You think if you just find the right words, they'll finally see what they're losing. But here's the truth that might save you months of regret. The goodbye message that shatters an avoidant has almost nothing to do with your feelings. I know that sounds backwards. You probably spent weeks, maybe months, trying to get them to hear you, to feel what you feel, to understand your pain. And every attempt has hit a wall so solid it's like screaming into a void. That's because avoidants aren't wired to respond to emotional intensity. In fact, emotional pleas do the opposite of what you intend. They activate defense mechanisms so deeply ingrained that no amount of explanation can penetrate them. The goodbye that actually breaks through their walls, that haunts them long after you've left, operates on completely different principles. And once you understand these principles, everything changes. Why everything you've tried has failed. Think about your last attempt to reach them emotionally. Maybe you poured your heart out in a long message. Maybe you cried and explained exactly how their distance hurt you. Maybe you listed all the moments you felt abandoned, hoping they'd finally connect the dots. And what happened? Silence. Or a response so cold and detached it made you feel insane for even caring. This isn't personal cruelty. It's neurobiology. When avoidants sense emotional demand, their nervous system registers it as a threat. Their brain literally interprets your vulnerability as something dangerous to their autonomy. The more you express need, the more they retreat. It's not a choice. It's a survival mechanism developed in childhood when emotional closeness felt unsafe or overwhelming. So those 3-paragraph messages explaining your pain, they're giving avoidants exactly what they need to dismiss you. They'll find one sentence that feels exaggerated, focus on that, and use it to invalidate everything else you said. Long explanations provide ammunition. Emotional intensity provides an escape route. They know how to handle your tears, your anger, your desperation. They withdraw, wait for the storm to pass, and trust that eventually you'll calm down and come back. You've probably already proven this pattern to them multiple times. But there's one type of goodbye their entire defensive system has no protocol for, and that's where everything shifts. The psychological principle that changes everything. Avoidants operate on one foundational assumption. People will always be there. Their attachment system is built on the belief that they can leave and return whenever they choose. Distance feels safe because they trust the connection will survive it. The goodbye that shatters this assumption doesn't scream or beg. It doesn't explain or accuse. It simply removes a safety net they didn't even know they were relying on. Here's what it looks like. I've realized this relationship doesn't work for me. I wish you well. That's it. 11 words. No explanation of your pain. No list of what they did wrong. No plea for them to change or understand. Just a calm statement of decision and a genuine wish for their future. This message works because it violates every single pattern they expect from you. Why this message breaks through? It's completely self-contained. You're not asking them to validate your feelings, repair the damage, or feel guilty about anything. You've already processed this internally and arrived at a decision. That self-containment communicates something their subconscious immediately recognizes. Finality. When there's no emotional demand, their defenses have nothing to push against. The absence of pleading creates a vacuum that their mind can't ignore. It's impossibly brief. There's nothing to analyze, nothing to argue with, nothing to dismiss as dramatic. The lack of explanation creates a void their brain will obsessively try to fill. They'll wonder what you're thinking, what pushed you to this point, why you sound so certain. That wondering is what penetrates their walls. Long messages give them material to dissect and reject. Short messages give them only questions and silence. It places zero blame. You're not calling them emotionally unavailable, commitment phobic, or avoidant. You're not listing their patterns or failures. You're simply stating that your needs aren't being met. This removes their ability to cast you as a needy, emotional person who couldn't handle their independence. You're not attacking them. You're just leaving. And there's nothing more unsettling to an avoidant than someone who sees them clearly and still chooses to walk away without anger. What happens in the weeks after? This is the part where most people sabotage themselves. They send the perfect message, then break within 72 hours. They check Instagram stories. They drive by familiar places. They send a casual text about something mundane, just to test the waters. Every single one of these actions tells the avoidant the same thing. You didn't mean it. Avoidants are constantly testing whether you mean what you say. They expect you to crack. They're waiting for proof that your goodbye was just another emotional outburst that will eventually blow over. When that proof never comes, when weeks turn into months with absolute silence from you, that's when your message finally detonates in their consciousness. Your consistency doesn't register as indifference to them. It registers as evidence. Evidence that you meant every word. Evidence that you're actually gone. Evidence that this time is different. This realization doesn't hit them all at once. It comes in waves, often 3 to 6 months after you've disappeared. They'll reach for their phone to text you about something random and remember you're not there anymore. They'll see something that reminds them of you and realize they can't share it. They'll have a moment of vulnerability and understand that you're no longer their safety net. That's when the absence becomes real. That's when they start to feel the weight of what they lost. The mistakes that undo everything. Mistake 1. Explaining yourself after sending the message. They text back asking why, and you feel obligated to clarify. Don't. Your message was complete. Additional explanation is emotional labor you no longer owe them. Mistake 2. Softening the blow with reassurance. Adding, this doesn't mean I don't care about you, or maybe someday things will be different creates hope. Hope means they can wait you out. Remove all hope. Mistake 3. Maintaining any form of contact. Being friends. Following each other on social media. Texting occasionally. All of it tells them you're still accessible. You need to become completely unavailable. Mistake 4. Announcing the breakup to mutual friends or posting about it. This makes it about getting a reaction. Your goodbye should be so quiet that they almost can't believe it happened. The power of this message is in its simplicity and your absolute commitment to it. The moment you waver, you've proven it was a tactic rather than a truth. What this actually gives you. Here's what matters most. This goodbye isn't ultimately about them. It's about you reclaiming your dignity and your future. When you send a message rooted in genuine clarity rather than emotional manipulation, you're not giving your power away. You're not waiting for their response to validate your decision. You're not hoping they'll chase you or suddenly transform into someone capable of meeting your needs. You're closing a door that should have been closed months ago, and you're doing it with grace. That's the goodbye that lets you sleep at night. The one that lets you move forward without compulsively checking your phone or wondering if you made a mistake. The one that honors both their limitations and your needs without sacrificing who you are. The truth behind the silence. 3 months from now, maybe 6, they might reach out. They might say they've been thinking about you, that they realize what they lost, that they want to try again. And here's what you'll know by then. It doesn't matter, because you've already done the one thing that truly sets you free. You've chosen yourself.